Day here in Southern Ontario, which puts us all in a fabulous mood. Folks, this is a Sportsline podcast. Appreciate you watching or listening. I'm Bubba O'Neill. As I say this on a daily basis, this podcast is a space for the many extraordinary athletes, coaches, executives, and broadcasters that got their start or are thriving in the Golden Horseshoe. But today we need to talk about something that's just a wee bit different. Take a real long look at these visuals of FirstOntario Centre in the city of Hamilton, because the aging sports and entertainment facility at the corner of Bay Street and York Boulevard is about to get a major facelift. Think about it. Gretzky to Lemieux at the Canada Cup, the AHL and OHL championships, the Raptors' first training camp, Ben Johnson getting upset at the spectator games, and shows featuring the likes of Elton John, Paul McCartney, Garth Brooks, BTS, and yeah, even Oprah. On this day, the Oakview Group officially broke ground for renovations to the near 40-year-old facility. On hand at the groundbreaking ceremony was CHCH reporter Sean Cowan, and it's great to have you sitting in. I need a little debrief, my friend.
Nice to be here, Bubba.
It's great to see you. I mean, today's this is kind of a, I don't want to say historical, but I mean, it kind of is.
It was a pretty big event, and you were saying there, take a look at the outside of this building, right? I was told there today that the outside, they're actually going to preserve most of it. So most of the change is going to happen on the inside. So a lot of the history on the outside is going to be preserved. So as you're driving there, it may still look the same. Inside, big transformation.
Well, and let's talk about this. This whole thing, as you said, major league event, especially for us here at CHCH as we service this market. And we were covering this thing. But this whole day started off with a little wacky incident with our own colleague, Simone Gavros. What happened?
So Simone was doing live hits there for Morning Live between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. when her and Luke, the cameraman, parked, I guess, in the parking lot right across the street from all the renovations, kind of right on, what's that road? The Bay in York.
Yeah.
They were yelled at, get off this parking lot, get out of here. So from what I understand, it wasn't a really friendly conversation. The person that was there was a little hostile. And
they were just shooting the old facility.
They were just shooting the old facility and doing live hits for Morning Live. But that's all I know.
That's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Now, and we talk about the exteriors of the building as it looks right now. And of course, let's be honest, this is a 39-year-old facility, a beautiful arena in its time, but it does look a little dated. But when you look at it right now, I mean, is it all, I hear it's all fenced off? And
it's all, they actually have, is it scaffolding? What do they put outside? It's all fenced off. So, and I asked that question today, has construction already started? And they said, look, it's all up. So it's actually started. So I was told it's this has been going on, or they've been wanting to do this for 20 years. So the mayor and council, as well as different builders, have been trying to figure out a way to do these renovations. Finally, it has started. So, and they have a pretty ambitious timeline. They want to be ready by November of 2025. So that's a better part of 18 months, right? I think it's like 14.
Wow.
That's somewhere in there. It's less than 2 years, more than a year. We'll go with that.
Okay, so we talk about the ceremony, big event. Who was there?
Yeah, the mayor was there. A lot of police officers. The chief of police was there. Obviously, the CEO and the president of the construction company that's going to be undergoing this.
Oakview.
A lot of, like, when I arrived there, I'm like, so me and my cameraman, Mike, arrived there, and we're like, we'll get set up. We'll do a couple of hits or a couple of interviews. We get there, and we're like, it's a major event. Like hundreds of people, stakeholders were there. City council, Hamilton was there, as well as past councillors, because they've been working on this for so long.
Oh, wow.
So it was packed. I would say probably about 200 people were inside there for the groundbreaking ceremony. I was expecting a little...
And that's no public. No public.
No.
Right?
It was all behind closed doors inside. So yeah, I was under the impression, okay, we're going to a groundbreaking ceremony. There's going to be a shovel. There's going to be a media op. We'll be in and out of there in 10 minutes.
You've shot 100 of those.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're like, where is this? They're like, oh, behind here. Follow the tape. And we're like, what? So it was a major event. You think about it, $300 million being spent on the city and it's not coming from taxpayers. It's all done by a bank.
Well, and $300 million, as they say right now, it'll probably end up being $400 at the end.
Perhaps,
when it's all done. We know how these
then
things work.
They'll just get more sponsors. Sponsor this wing, $5 million.
Well, from what I hear, this is going to be a pretty spectacular event, and they've got the likes of the Oakview Group, who are led by Tim Leiweke, who's considered a giant in the sports and entertainment network for over 40 years. Over 2013, 2015, he was the president and CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
Okay.
He's the guy that's really responsible for making changes with the Leafs, getting Brendan Shanahan in there as the president of the team, getting Messiah Jury in there to run the Raptors, and look what happened. They won a championship. That Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, in terms of value and just being noticed, just went big time. And this is what Tim does. So I guess he spoke at this thing, and what was the feeling that you got from Tim?
You know what? No mention of sports whatsoever.
Whoa.
Not at all. It was all about music, what artists they're going to attract, why the artists want to perform in a very high-end facility, and what they're going to do to attract big names. Like you were saying, who's already been? Elton John's already been there. Shania Twain was there last year. So they've had pretty big names. There was no mention of any sports. It was all, this is going to be a music facility.
Wow.
There's also going to be a restaurant there with a world-class chef that's going to be open, and they did say this, 365 days a year.
So I guess that makes it a facility, because as it stands right now, it's a place that you go to for whatever is going on.
Right.
So now they want to kind of make this a destination place.
A destination, yeah. Right. You can go there, you can see an A-list performer. Maybe somebody like Taylor Swift. I don't know. I don't know.
Throw out Taylor Swift. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. She do it 4 days in Toronto, I think, when she's here. Right? They're calling it a mini residency in Toronto while she's here. So they're hoping to attract big names. And then the mayor was saying, Andrew Horvath, that this will actually spin off, and there are going to be other announcements in the coming weeks and coming months of other businesses and opportunities that are going to be popping up in that area.
Wow.
So she said those announcements are coming.
Well, so I guess it's fair to say that when this is complete, or at least this is kind of the beginnings of the revitalization of maybe the downtown Hamilton core?
I guess so. I think we've been using that revitalization term for the past 20 years. Okay. Like we hear it every time there's a new shovel in the ground, revitalization. But I guess when you dump $300 million into one facility, and you have a couple new hotels around there. If you look at King Street all along downtown, there's condos. So they want, what was also mentioned today is they want people to be able to live, work, and play within the same area. So this is not only going to be for people who live and work downtown, but also a destination place from people from all over Ontario, Canada, and the world, depending on who comes there.
I got to believe that there's going to be some type of sports team there. I mean, at some point, because even though it will be looked at as a place for concerts or whatever, I think the availability to keep this building going and busy with having some type of sports teams there. I mean, and again, I guess these are all things to come. Right. And no matter what, Tim Leiweke is kind of a sports guy as well too. Did you get the sort of? I mean, when you listen to him talk,
and I spoke with him one-on-one too.
You had one-on-one. So what did he say there?
I asked him. My first question to him was, "What is this going to look like inside?" And he basically said it's going to look like something that Hamilton has never seen before. There's going to be, he used the word like experiences. It's going to be high class, like really like a luxury facility downtown Hamilton for people to not only enjoy music but also experience like venues together. Or kind of what's the word I'm looking for there? Like really like a destination place. Like he really said it's going to be a top-notch facility.
You know, and it's funny. I talked to someone in the financial district and someone that's pretty well known, and I said, "Can you describe Tim Leiweke to me?" And to use his words, he's a big dog that gets shit done.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Did you get that feeling?
You know what? When I was watching the press conference, they were doing a lot of like one-liner jokes, right? And then we were like, "Come on, get to the good stuff. Like, give us a clip." Like the one-liner jokes. But what I was thinking of, he probably spends his whole day with papers and getting meetings done and getting money. That this is now an opportunity to have a little fun and look at all of our hard work over the past few years actually coming. So the press conference was a little bit lighter, and a lot of thank yous, a lot of to the mayor, to the councilors, and a lot of like little Like he actually ran out and knocked on the scaffolding and said, look, construction's actually started. Look what we did. So he was having a lot of fun with the press conference, and it was lighter because I can imagine, like you said, he's somebody that gets stuff done. So he's probably spending most of his days at a big boardroom table, signing, negotiating. So this was an opportunity to say, look what we did.
Live Nation, I hear, is also very much, like you said, a partner involved in this. And if anyone knows anything about entertainment, as we talk about this, if there's going to be major concerts at this facility, Live Nation tied in with Ticketmaster, these are the people that you want involved in your building.
I think somebody else asked him. I was listening to Tim doing a one-on-one with another reporter, and they're like, is Beyonce going to come here? He's like, well, this would be the place for her. So I think those A-list celebrities and those one-name celebrities who could be here.
These people are smart because think about this. If you look at the buildings that exist, big buildings, and I'm talking arena size, I'm not talking smaller size that are under 10,000. This is probably
18,000.
18,000 or 18 to 19,000 seat buildings in this area. You have Scotiabank Arena.
Right. That's like 20. Is that the same amount?
Yeah, it's about 18,500.
Right, so really comparable.
Really, and then there's Buffalo. There's nothing else in this area.
Right.
And I would think Scotiabank Arena, with their commitments, first of all, they always have Leaf games on Saturday night for pretty much 8 to 9 months of the year. And on the nights where there are Leafs or the Leafs happen to be on the road on a Saturday night, then you're going to have the Raptors. They play their Saturday night specials as well, too. Raptors also play a lot of Sunday games as well, too. I'm thinking maybe they're onto something here because if those buildings are already booked with Leafs and Raptors on those big nights when you want to have concerts.
On the weekends, right?
On the weekends.
Yeah, where are people going to go?
Hamilton, I guess.
Right. It's only 45 minutes, I guess an hour drive. So big names, there's hotels, there are places for people to go. I think that's what they're looking to attract.
I mean, and you'd probably know this number better than I, having worked in Toronto as well, too. What is the number of the GTA plus Niagara plus greater Hamilton area? We're looking at...
I think, Toronto right now is like over 3 million Toronto proper, right? So if you think of the outskirts, like Oakville, Burlington, Niagara, you're probably at about 6 million around there.
Well, think about
that. Yeah, but it has to be that number with Niagara and Hamilton. Hamilton's at 900,000.
Wow, and you think about the amount of people that this building will be able to attract. Got to get a sports team.
How many people live within an hour or 2 hours from the GTHA, right? Like basically most of the population of Canada, like all within this area.
Wow, I'm excited. It's obviously is a big deal. Live Nation, Oakview Group, Tim Lywicki, the mayor.
Right.
Again, we talk about this revitalization of the downtown core for Hamilton, but I guess we can actually say it's underway now.
It's 100% underway. If you just look downtown Hamilton, how many cranes are in the ground everywhere, right? A lot of construction is going on. So with this piece, what other businesses are going to come up because of it? Like the mayor was saying, there will be some announcements in the coming weeks and coming months.
I want that to be a sports team. Sean, I guess you got a little report to put together for the 6 o'clock
news.
Report.
A minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes if I have more stuff to talk about. Yeah.
Thanks for a little sneak peek at what you heard and experienced today.
Thank you.
Come join us and maybe talk about your career.
All right, sound good. I'll do that. So Madonna just wrapped up her 40th anniversary. Is she going to look at Hamilton now because of this?
Well, if you said it's only going to be less than 2 years,
right?
She'll be Maggie. She'll still be hanging around.
She'll come around.
Look forward to that. I'll be there, hopefully front row. Folks, that's your Sportsline podcast for the day. And as you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports, especially local sports. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline podcast, you want to hear from you. Please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. If you do have something to say, please comment. For the wonderful people that make the Sportsline podcast possible, thank you so very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.